Do you care about the NFL draft? Well, Cody Lashney does, and I don't really. And tonight, he's going to try to convince me and you listeners out there to care. So who the heck are you going to try to convince us of tonight, Cody Lashney, to care about?
Oh, Tony, listen, tonight we have a very hot prospect being talked about all throughout draft circles, and that's none other than Texas Tech defensive end Tyree Hill. Tony, Brian Burns has needed a partner in crime for 3 years now, and this would give us the perfect opportunity to give him a big, strong, powerful bookend of a versatile defensive lineman that can literally do everything that you're going to ask him to do on Sundays. This man is a monster at 6'6", 275 pounds, 66 total career tackles for loss while at Texas Tech, 14 last season. This man is an absolute monster. And one of the things I want you to notice, look at him standing up. If we're going to be going to a 3-4 defense under Ejiro Rivero, this is a guy that you can plug and play quick. Look how powerful Tyree Wilson is. Can just use a stiff arm, get past two defenders for the quarterback sack, is aggressive, long, and powerful. You see, he does a great job at pad level, too. Once he gets that stiff arm right in the center of your chest, just dog walks the right tackle all the way back into the quarterback for a sack. This dude has big-time NFL strength. Some people have him as their number 2 edge defender behind Will Anderson in this year's draft. And look at the ability to stand up the pulling tackle, get into the run lane, and take the running back down for a tackle at the line of scrimmage. This man can absolutely do it all. He knows his run fits. He knows the cutback lanes. And this man hustles to the football every single play. He was a dynamic edge defender for the Texas Tech. And let me tell you, they're going to miss not having this guy in their rotation next year. You really can't teach the physical upside of a player like this who just has unreal ability to lay the boom on opposing quarterbacks. Tony, I think Tyree has the potential to be the missing link of the Carolina Panthers defensive line. He might be just what the doctor ordered, to be honest with you.
You're listening to the C3 Panthers Podcast. This is our new series, Convince Me to Care, where Cody Lashney loves the draft and Tony, long hair, don't care, as D's ill skills has been telling me to say. I love it. Tonight, Cody Lashney trying to convince you, the listener, and I to care about Tyree Wilson, defensive edge, Texas Tech. And I think Texas Tech, and I think Myles Garrett, right?
No, that was
Texas A&M. That was A&M.
Yeah, he was angry. He was one of those weirdos.
And didn't we actually draft someone from that team? Who was on the other side?
Yeah, he was the bookend defensive end for that Texas A&M.
Whoever he was,
whoever he was
for the Carolina Panthers. I can't remember him off the top of my head. But tonight, Tyree Wilson, defensive edge player. We are moving from a 4-3 defense, it looks like, or at least Ejiro Evero has leans towards that 3-4 defense. And we know that these defensive end prospects, Cody, that are coming out of college feel a little bit more suited for that. This guy was doing one-armed stiff arms. Like, is that really going to fly in the NFL? My first thing that you have to tell me that I should care about, is he 270? If that's the case, I already like that number. Look at his legs, though. Are those legs a little twiggy?
Well, look, he's 6'6", 275 pounds. And dude, it's hard to teach those kind of physicals. You see him right here, number 19. And one of the things that people, specifically this Panthers front office, is going to love about him is that he has the frame to do whatever you want. You can imagine him with his hand in the dirt in a 4-3, or even kicking inside the 3-tech on certain pass rushing downs to rush the passer. He has the bird-like long arms. Dude, look how long his arms are. These are his hands down here. But not only that, Tony, he knows how to use his length as his best weapon. Look as he just embarrasses number 63 here for Baylor and just dog walks him back into the quarterback for a big-time sack. Tony, you either have those kinds of physical gifts that you're born with, or you just don't, man. You cannot teach that. That would be a huge asset for this Carolina Panthers defense. And I think that versatility gives a brand new young defensive coaching staff the kind of weapon that they've been looking for to actually be the perfect bookend for Brian Burns. Tony, the more I watch this man's film, the more he's becoming my draft crush, if I'm being honest with you.
You said that last week.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm crushing, man. I have a lot of different crushes. Don't judge me.
Crush. Y'all all
I'm allowed
do
to
it.
have more than one.
Interesting stuff here is Tyree Wilson actually played for Texas A&M from 2018 to 2019 is listed right now, and I just Googled him. He is from Anchorage, Alaska. Huh. He's an Alaskan coming back down here to play. He was, look, this is the other thing that I saw that stood out. Oh, he was born in 2000, the year I graduated high school. Cody last name.
Yeah.
I might learn that this, you know what? I care that this man was from Anchorage, Alaska. I care. Where's that? Arkansas? No, it's Arkansas. What's AK? Is AK Alaska or is that Arkansas?
AK is Arkansas.
Oh, so he's from Anchorage, Arkansas. Huh. Maybe I should care about what.
Wait, no, now you're gonna be confused.
I know. I don't know. I forgot my postal codes here.
No, Alaska is AL, is it not?
I think so. I think you're right. I think it's AL or ALA. Hold on.
Oh man, I'm trying to think back to fourth grade.
Abbreviation. No, AK is Alaska.
Oh, okay. So you're right.
I don't feel dumb. I was about to feel dumb. I guess we still feel dumb. He's from Anchorage, Alaska. He is 22 years old, graduating high school, or born in the year I graduated. Cody, I hear about defensive ends, and you guys tell me about, all I hear usually in the draft time is bend. Bend. This guy's got bend. Does this guy got bend? Because he is long. The question is, can he get underneath pad? We hear pad level a lot in the NFL. You know, is that that might be able to fly in college, a man just bull rushing at a guard, being a defensive end. But he ain't going to just be able to do that against NFL players that easily. Tell me about his athleticism, his bend, and some of those, what we have always, I hear about for someone who doesn't care about the draft, secondary moves.
Yeah, so this is some of the things that he needs to work on, but also while understanding that he is an incredibly impressive piece of clay. He needs a little bit of polish and needs to be tuned up a little bit, but he has all the traits that you want. Now, he's not overly bendy. He's not a Von Miller type that's going to run sideways underneath the table, but he's not stiff either. He needs to work on some secondary pass rush moves when that strength inevitably does fail him. But as we've been learning with this new coaching staff coming in, all of these guys are very well respected. They've been around the NFL and they've really coached up some solid players. He's the type of player that has so much upside that hasn't even been tapped into yet. So while his bend might not be at an elite level, it's certainly enough to be able to win some one-on-one matchups against tackles in the NFL. And again, knowing that you're going to be able to bookend our already dynamic defensive end and Brian Burns and adding a legit secondary pass rush, that's going to go a long way in helping him iron out some of the kinks in his technique. But again, I know I almost sound like a broken record here, but when you see the type of freak athleticism and strength to be able to get his hands straight to the middle of the offensive lineman's chest and just bulldoze him, take this man's lunch money Tony, that's the type of anger and aggression that you want in a defensive line, that they're going to go rush the passer, be aggressive with the opposing offense, and defend our dirt every single time we play in Bank of America Stadium. Tyree Wilson is that type of prospect, and I could very easily see him being the second defensive end taken in this draft. Some even prefer him over Alabama's Will Anderson because of his incredible physicals, being 6'6", 275 pounds. God bless this man physically, and that's going to help him on Sundays.
One of the criticisms I have, or maybe not criticisms, about taking a defensive end, not or limitations. A lot of times you guys are like, oh, this guy's the best. He's fucking best. And they are. They're probably a good player. Even a Brian Burns-esque type player fits this bill for me. And that is, unless you're just the freak, unless you're just the best of the best of the best, we're talking Jadeveon Clowney to Myles Garrett to Julius Pepper type defensive end. It really is year 3 when these guys prosper that I've seen. How quickly do you see a player like Tyree Wilson making an impact for an NFL team?
Well, because of his physical gifts, I mean, it's very easy, in my opinion, to see him having 6 or 7 plus sacks his first season in the NFL, which, if I recall correctly, it was right around what Brian Burns was able to manage, around that 6 or 7 mark, I believe, in his first year. And again, he has so much potential to be more. Again, when you think of the Texas Tech football team, you think of offense. I mean, when you think of that conference, you're not necessarily thinking about high-end defenses. But every once in a while, you get a gem who just has this incredible upside and the potential to play so many positions on the defensive line. They're going to be able to find some way to use him rather fast. I've even seen some people starting to compare him to a young Cam Jordan, because Cam Jordan is also similar measurables, big, strong, and he has the potential to just absolutely destroy opposing offensive linemen in the NFL. To show you one more clip of what kind of long arm we're talking about, and by the way, that is his best move, the long, stiff arm directly to the chest. Look at this clip against Texas this year. Gets directly into the chest and just bulldozes this man. Now, it didn't end up getting the sack, but you see the type of unreal strength that this guy has. If he's able to develop a swim maneuver, able to get some secondary pass rush moves, this guy can be an absolute nightmare on Sundays. So they're going to find a role for him. He's very good in playing the run as well. He sets a physical edge. It's hard to overpower this man. To me, he's like the yin to the yang of Ikem Ekwonu, meaning you don't want to be on the opposite end of these gentlemen because they're just stronger than you.
I've put up a poll on YouTube right now asking if we should care about Tyree Wilson. As we approach the end of this show, let's talk about some of the scouting report strengths that other people are talking about. This is, last week I put up this same website, so let's go ahead and we'll stick with this briefly for some consistency. This is NFLDraftBuzz.com. They have this individual rated at an 88.4 out of 100. The last profile you did was on that on the tight end, who was like an 89. So both of these players are first round, I would assume, projections. Tyree Wilson is this scouting report strength. He's ready for the physicality of the NFL. Stout build, strong core, powerful limbs to step right away. 3-down player. We like to hear that. 3-down player. That's what I'm interested in. The adjustment time for the NFL is obviously shorter at that point. Adequate change of direction, great strength in shedding offensive linemen, ability to use his momentum. A lot of that strength and size he's been winning there. Strong tackler. You like that. Explosive first step. Again, these are what you're going to have to see is at least these are base skills you can build from and develop those moves. Is not a guy that you are also projecting growing into the NFL body, but closer to it as he already is. Some of the weaknesses, while Wilson was able to physically overpower his opponents in college, he will have to develop a wider repertoire of moves in the pros. We're right on this. I can tell. This is why
your boy's out here, baby.
Well, you know what? You care, and I wonder if I should. Tell me right now, where do you, if this individual, Tyree Wilson, was to be a Carolina Panther, where are they going to have to grab him? Where do you see him projected? I saw someone in the chat mention that he's projected to Seattle, which I know they pick after us. So, or unless they have a trade up. Actually, they probably have a trade up pick from Denver. Tell us, where do you suspect or anticipate, should I say, Tyree Wilson going in the draft?
Tony, right now, most mock drafts have Tyree Wilson going in the top 10. I've seen him go to the Detroit Lions with their first round pick. Most recently on our website over at drafttech.com, where I'm the analyst for the Carolina Panthers, we have him going to Atlanta. So he is a dominant pass rusher who, again, is probably going to be the second one on the board. Maybe he could end up falling down to 15, but even that's kind of a stretch to me. He's even though he's similar in build, his college film is a lot better than, say, a Marcus Davenport out of UTSA who went to the Saints, who really hasn't done much of anything. This guy has the meanness to him, the toughness and the physicality to actually be a real problem on the edge of the defensive line. And like I said, for a team that has the past few years struggled to defend the run, he has elite ability to know where the run is going and to set a physical edge. It's hard to move 6'6", 275 pounds off the spot. And Tony, his best attribute, even though he needs to add some pass rush maneuvers, he always wins the contact battle, meaning he shoots his hands first and in the perfect position right into the chest of the opposing offensive tackle, and he does so consistently. That's why he's being evaluated so high by NFL prospects, and that's why he's being looked at as a top 10 pick in this year's draft.
Let us know in the chat, in the comments, after this video is completed, if you care about Tyree Wilson, how you think about this assessment of this player, and also go ahead and start commenting about who you want us to do, or who you would like Cody to convince us to care about next. In this case, Tyree Wilson, I'm going to say, I care about you. I care already. Because here's the thing, I'm not going to hold it against the individual for not doing second moves when they haven't had to. So, right. Hey, is that I don't need to see someone be fancy when he can just do what he's supposed to. Right now in the YouTube chat, 61% care about Tyree Wilson. I think you've done a great job tonight, Cody Lack. The C3 Panthers podcast is live tomorrow at 9 p.m. You can follow me on Twitter at @cat_chronicles. Where can they get after you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Cody Lack, CODYLAC. Tomorrow, back here on another episode of the C3 Panthers podcast every Tuesday night and every Friday at 7 p.m. for the Friday Free For All, where you get to join the C3 Panthers podcast via StreamYard. It's a great time. We always have incredible discussions. Join the cult of Free For All.
Take us out of here, brother.
C3 Nation, until next time, keep pounding.